In a society where prejudice strangles freedom, black lesbian women, despite their extraordinary talent, must confront a barrage of pain from discrimination. This is like an invisible blade tearing apart their hearts and love, from the dazzling stage under bright lights to the dark corners of isolation. They loved passionately, but received only anguish in return. The 19 tragic love stories of black lesbian stars that follow will take you on a journey of courage, sacrifice, and dreams of love buried by a society rife with prejudice. The truths behind the glamour will leave you heartbroken and unable to look away. 19. Billie Holiday Lover Man, a song from a shattered heart. Born on April 7, 1915 in Philadelphia, Billie Holiday became one of America's greatest jazz voices. But behind the stage's glamour, Holiday's life was a series of tragedies, particularly her same-sex love with actress Tallulah Bankhead, a forbidden romance in a society that rejected both her black identity and her queerness. One spring day in 1940, in a Harlem jazz club, Holiday performed her soulful songs with fervor. Below the stage, thousands of fans were captivated by her music, but few knew that when the music faded, Holiday grappled daily with hiding her sexual orientation. In 1941, Holiday agreed to marry Jimmy Monroe, a loveless marriage marked by violence. In the darkest days of her life, Holiday found light in her relationship with Tallulah Bankhead, a renowned actress who also faced society's invisible pressures. Holiday met Bankhead at a New York jazz club, where they were instantly drawn to each other. Their relationship began in secrecy, with clandestine meetings in hotels and private apartments. Holiday gave Bankhead embraces, hand-holding, and looks that only lovers share. It seemed the tragedy had ended, giving way to brighter days ahead, but just months later, Holiday was arrested for drug possession. Even more shocking, at the trial, rumors of her relationship with Bankhead spread due to a blurry photograph capturing them holding hands. The hazy image posed a clear threat to both their reputations in the crowded courtroom. Holiday stood alone under the judgmental gazes of hundreds as rumors about her relationship with Bankhead became the talk of the town. Fearing for her career, Bankhead publicly denied their relationship. She sent Holiday a cold letter, writing, "Billie, you are my light, but I can't let them know." In her cell, Holiday read the letter with a broken heart, whispering, "Tallulah, you abandoned me." That night, in her cell, she sang Lover Man.
The night is cold and I'm so all.
Her voice filled with pain, as if confessing a love forsaken. The pain of betrayal from the woman she loved, coupled with society's scornful stares, pushed Holiday into a spiral of addiction and despair. Bankhead's letter was like a deep cut, intensifying the loneliness Holiday carried throughout her life. After her release, Holiday continued performing, but her health deteriorated due to alcohol and drugs. She had new relationships, but none could fill the void left by Bankhead. She passed away on July 17, 1959 in New York, at age 44 from cirrhosis. Thousands attended Holiday's funeral, but no one mentioned the secret love etched into her voice. 18. Ethel Waters, Dinah's Melody, A Farewell to Love. Ethel Waters, born in 1896 in Chester, Pennsylvania, was a radiant Broadway star whose soulful voice and acting talent lifted her from Philadelphia's slums to the heights of fame. Yet, ironically, the society that celebrated her as an icon cruelly stifled her love, causing it to wither in bitterness before it could fully bloom. In 1924, under the dim lights of a Harlem jazz club, Waters met Williams, a talented dancer with graceful movements. As Waters sang St. Louis Blues, Williams' eyes sparkled, following each note as if enchanted. After the show, Williams approached quietly, offering Waters a white jasmine flower, whispering, "You sing as if you're telling the world about me." Waters' heart stirred, feeling a rare warmth. They held hands in a secluded corner of the club, fingers intertwined, exchanging passionate glances as if to freeze time. From then on, they became a secret couple, sharing long nights in a small Harlem apartment, where Waters softly sang for Williams, and Williams taught her dance steps. Their love was constantly threatened by the fear of discovery, as society rejected same-sex love, especially between two black women. Each time they left the apartment, Waters gripped Williams' hand tightly, fearing society's judgmental eyes. Backstage at a Harlem performance, a producer warned Waters, "Ethel, if you don't end things with Williams, you'll lose everything." Waters' heart tightened, suffocated by the fear of exposure and prejudice. That night, Williams looked at Waters with teary eyes, whispering, "Ethel, I don't want to be your burden." Waters embraced Williams tightly, sobbing, "You are my whole world, but they won't let us be." Under the pressure of community stigma, the fear of legal punishment, and the need to protect her stage reputation, Williams left Harlem, leaving Waters in an empty room with a loneliness that tore her apart. That night, Waters took the stage, her trembling hands clutching the microphone, singing Dinah with a voice that broke, each note a tearful farewell to a love forbidden by society. After parting with Williams, Waters continued her career, achieving great success but never finding true love again. She married 3 times, but each marriage fell apart in her final years. Waters found solace in faith before passing away in 1977 from cancer. Her love story with Williams remained a painful secret, buried by societal prejudice. 17. Josephine Baker, A Dance of Love Under Paris Moonlight. Josephine Baker, born in 1906 in Missouri, was an international icon with her fiery dances in Zuzu and her role as a civil rights activist. From a poor girl in the slums, she became a radiant star, but her heart bore scars from an unfulfilled love with artist Frida Kahlo. In 1925, on an autumn afternoon, Baker left America for France, quickly becoming an international icon with her banana dance at Folies Bergère. Success freed her from racial prejudice, but deep inside, she remained lonely. As a black lesbian, Baker hid her love to protect her reputation from public scrutiny. In 1937, at an art party in Paris, she met Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist with fiery eyes and a warm smile. The moment their eyes met, Baker felt a kindred spirit, as if they were meant to heal each other's wounds. Their souls intertwined, and they lived their happiest days together, exchanging secret love letters and fleeting touches in the dark. But their love was shrouded by the fear of exposure. Pressure from the media and the expectation to maintain a perfect star image made every moment with Kahlo a painful secret, like a flame that both warmed and burned Baker's heart. In 1938, in a small moonlit Paris apartment, Josephine Baker stood before Frida Kahlo, her heart torn by an unavoidable choice. Rumors of their same-sex love appeared in tabloids, threatening the reputation Baker had painstakingly built. The pressure and fear of losing her spotlight forced Baker to make a cruel decision. She married businessman Jean Leon, a sham marriage to silence rumors about her forbidden love. Kahlo, with pained eyes, gripped Baker's hand, her voice trembling. "Josephine, I don't care about the world out there. Stay with me. We can be everything." But Baker, tears streaming down her cheeks, looked at the portrait Kahlo painted of her, vibrant and free. Her heart shattered as she whispered, "Frida, you are my heartbeat, but I can't let them destroy all I've worked for." Her voice choked as if strangled by her own words. Baker tore the portrait into pieces, each fragment falling like shards of the love they had nurtured. Kahlo, saying nothing, turned and walked away, her small figure fading into the Paris night. After their unfulfilled love, Baker threw herself into work, becoming a steadfast civil rights activist, despite her many successes. Her heart bore the scar of her love for Kahlo, a love extinguished by society's prejudice and judgment. 16. Wanda Sykes' Laughter, Rising from a Broken Heart. Wanda Sykes, a comedy star raised in a conservative black family, turned her sharp wit into a weapon, making all of America laugh. But behind the glamour, her journey to openly love Alex Niedbalski was a melancholic symphony, marked by harsh judgment from her religious family and a prejudiced society. In 1964, in the quiet suburbs of Maryland, Wanda Sykes was born into a strict family with a military colonel father and a banker mother. After college, she worked at the National Security Agency, but soon left. In 1987, success came when she joined a comedy special on HBO. However, her lesbian identity remained hidden, especially after an unhappy marriage to Dave Hall in 1991. A turning point came in the summer of 2006 on a ferry to Fire Island. As Sykes leaned against the railing, the sea breeze blowing, the crowd seemed to vanish when her eyes met Alex Niedbalski, a blonde woman holding a laptop bag, stroking a child's hair with her other hand. Alex's warm smile made Sykes's heart race. She knew, this is the one I need. She approached, asking, "Do you know where this ferry stops?" Alex smiled. "I'm not sure, but I hope it leads to a good day." The reply made Sykes laugh, feeling truly herself for the first time in years. They talked throughout the trip, from playful banter to sharing dreams. As the ferry docked, Alex wrote her number, saying, "Call me, Wanda. I think we have more to talk about." Sykes clutched the paper, her heart full of joy and fear. She feared that this love, though intense, couldn't escape her family's and society's prejudice. Their relationship blossomed. In the fall of 2008, Sykes sat across from her mother, her heart heavy, preparing to come out as lesbian. She had married Alex a month earlier, but her family wouldn't accept it. Sykes trembled. "Mom, I love Alex." "We're married," her mother coldly replied. "You're defiling this family. God doesn't accept that." The words cut like a knife, and Sykes, who made the world laugh, felt abandoned. Pressure from the black community and fear of losing fans caused her pain. In November 2008, at a Las Vegas rally, Sykes stepped onto the podium and declared, "I'm gay, and I'm proud." The crowd cheered, but her family wasn't there, leaving Sykes in loneliness, despite Alex by her side. Despite her family's rejection, Sykes continued to live true to her feelings. She kept shining in her career. In 2009, Sykes and Alex welcomed twins Lucas and Olivia, building a loving family. But the scar of her family's rejection lingered, like a sad melody in her joyful jokes. 15. Jackie Moms, Mabley laughter on stage, tears in the dark. Jackie Moms Mabley, born in 1894 in Brevard, North Carolina, was a pioneering black comedian with her witty old lady persona. But behind the laughter, her openness about being lesbian was a painful melody, forcing her to hide her emotions in the recesses of her soul, carrying the scar of a love forbidden to exist. In 1908, on a cold, rainy afternoon, Jackie Moms Mabley fled Brevard, North Carolina, where her childhood was stifled by the pain of being orphaned and the trauma of rape, with a burning heart yearning for freedom. She found refuge in Cleveland, joining vaudeville troupes where the stage became her home, in masculine suits and with a confident stride. Mabley lived authentically. She loved women fiercely, earning the nickname Mr. Moms among artist friends. In the spring of 1921, in a small Cleveland theater, Jackie Moms Mabley, then 27, stood among close vaudeville friends, her heart pounding as if it would burst. That night, in her familiar suit, short hair, and radiant smile, Mabley held the hand of a dancer named Lena, whose deep brown eyes and captivating moves enchanted her. With a trembling but resolute voice, Mabley declared, "I love women, and I'm not ashamed." Her words silenced the room before it erupted in embraces. Lena, standing beside her, squeezed her hand, whispering, "Jackie, I'll dance for you forever." They had met months earlier, when Lena's Charleston performance mesmerized Mabley, and from then on, stolen moments backstage, hurried kisses, and letters hidden under pillows ignited a flame of love in Mabley's heart. Together, they dreamed of a world where they didn't need to hide, where she could love Lena in the sunlight, but that joy was as fragile as a butterfly's wings. Outside the theater, 1920s society, with Jim Crow laws and religious prejudice, deemed homosexuality a sin. The conservative black community, where Mabley found solace, was ready to turn its back if they knew she loved women. Each time she left Lena's arms, Mabley felt suffocated by fear of media exposure, fear of audience jeers, fear of losing her only home. Their love, though radiant, had to hide in the shadows, like a song sung in silence. It seemed things would pass quietly, but one summer day in 1940, backstage at the Apollo Theater, as police raided a queer party, Mabley held Lena's hand, her heart heavy with fear. Tears fell as she whispered, "You are my breath, but they'll burn everything I've built." The shout, "Moms, come out," forced Mabley to let go, choosing to hide her love to protect her reputation. Lena walked away into the night, leaving Mabley in loneliness and pain like a bleeding wound. Mabley's love couldn't overcome society's judgmental eyes, and she chose her career, continuing to shine in her roles. Despite new successes, the scar of a buried love haunted her until her death in 1975. 14. Audre Lorde, the flame of poetry in a prejudiced society. Audre Lorde, born in 1934 in New York, embodied the black lesbian warrior fighting for feminism, civil rights, and LGBTQ+ freedom. But behind her radiant aura, Lorde's heart bore indelible scars, trampled by the conservative black community and a prejudiced society for her same-sex love. In 1950, in the vibrant yet harsh streets of Harlem, New York, Audre Lorde grew up. After graduating from Hunter College in 1951, she worked as a librarian and began writing poetry. She married Edwin Rollins, but the marriage quickly dissolved because she was lesbian. In the fall of 1971, at Tougaloo College, Audre met Frances Clayton, a psychology professor with a gentle smile, after her failed marriage. Lorde felt her heart awaken with Frances, who shared her dream of equality. They spent evenings together, reading poetry and sharing secret embraces. In the 1970s, American society was steeped in racial and homophobic prejudice, and the black community, rooted in religious values, was quick to judge their love each time she left Frances's arms. Lorde felt fear creeping in, fear of colleagues' scrutiny, fear of whispers from those who admired her poetry, fear of Harlem's rejection. Their love, though a warming flame, had to remain hidden like an unread poem, waiting for the world to listen. That day came in 1973 at a Brooklyn poetry event, where Lorde stood before the crowd, her heart pounding as she prepared to reveal her love for Frances Clayton. She read a poem about same-sex love, then declared, "Frances, you are my light." But the black audience, once admirers of her poetry, responded with cold stares and murmurs, "She's shaming us." The conservative community, where she fought for civil rights, turned away, calling her love sinful. Frances held her hand, whispering, "Audre, we're strong enough." But the pain of rejection choked Lorde, feeling like her heart was crushed, each criticism a knife, leaving an unhealing scar. Defying prejudice, Lorde continued to love Frances and write, inspiring through the cancer journals and a burst of light while battling breast cancer. She passed away in 1992, leaving an immortal literary legacy. But the pain of being judged for her same-sex love remained a sad poem in her heart. 13. Lorraine Hansberry, a love play never performed. Lorraine Hansberry, a pioneering black playwright, became famous with A Raisin in the Sun, the first play by a black woman on Broadway. From a girl raised amid racial discrimination, she became a literary flame, igniting dreams of equality. But her burning love couldn't overcome societal prejudice. Born in 1930 in Chicago's South Side, Lorraine Hansberry grew up with a passion for justice, leaving the University of Wisconsin. She dove into New York's vibrant life, writing for Freedom magazine, crafting calls for equality. In 1953, she married Robert Nemiroff, but the marriage was a facade for her heart. Where same-sex love quietly burned, the loveless marriage soon ended. In the winter of 1960, in a small New York cafe, Lorraine Hansberry sat quietly, her eyes weary from long nights of writing plays and battling racial prejudice. Then Dorothy Secules walked in, a woman with wavy brown hair and a smile like a spring breeze, carrying a notebook filled with poetry and politics. Her eyes sparkling with admiration, Dorothy said, "Lorraine, I cried watching your play." Hansberry, usually guarded, felt her heart stir as if a long-closed door had opened. She sensed a deep connection. They began spending evenings together, sharing scripts under candlelight, exchanging secret love letters hidden in drawers, and holding hands furtively on bustling streets. With Dorothy, Hansberry found a haven where she could be a black lesbian without hiding, where dreams of equality weren't just lines in a play, but that joy was as fragile as mist. In the 1960s, American society was steeped in Jim Crow laws and homophobia, and the black community, where she fought for civil rights, was quick to deem their love impure. Their radiant love had to remain hidden, waiting for the world to change. In the spring of 1961, in a Greenwich Village apartment, Hansberry sat with Dorothy, holding a letter declaring her same-sex love. "Dorothy, you are my breath," she whispered, hoping the black community would accept her. But when the letter was published, murmurs arose. "She's tainting the civil rights movement." The community turned away, calling her love shameful. Dorothy embraced her, saying, "We'll get through, Lorraine." But the judgmental stares choked Hansberry. Her heart suffocated. Due to homophobic societal pressure, their relationship existed only in the shadows. Hansberry continued writing, inspiring through the sign in Sidney Brustein's window. But in 1965, pancreatic cancer took her at 34, though she left immortal works. The pain of being forbidden her same-sex love remained a sad song in the heart of the talented playwright. 12. Barbara Jordan, A Secret Love. Behind the political spotlight. Barbara Jordan, a pioneering black politician and the first black female Texas state senator, fought for civil rights and justice with her resounding voice. But behind the political spotlight, her same-sex love was buried by a prejudiced society. Born in 1936 in Houston's Fifth Ward slums, Barbara Jordan grew up amid poverty, where racial and gender prejudice confined her dreams. With steely resolve, she overcame barriers, graduating from Boston University Law School, becoming a symbol of justice and politics. But deep in her heart, she hid a secret never revealed. She was lesbian. A turning point came in 1968 at an education conference in Austin, where Jordan met Nancy Earle, an educator whose gentle eyes were like a guiding light. Jordan's heart stirred. Finding true love, in long nights together, they shared dreams of a just world, exchanging secret love letters. But in the 1960s, when racial and homophobic prejudice crushed hope, society deemed their love perverse. In the summer of 1976, after her historic speech at the Democratic National Convention, Barbara Jordan returned to her happy Washington, D.C. apartment, where Nancy Earle, her secret love, waited. But the brief joy vanished when rumors of Jordan's lesbianism spread. An anonymous letter slipped under her door, filled with slurs. "You're our disgrace. Stop this sick love." Jordan's heart felt suffocated, her eyes blurred as she held Nancy's hand, whispering, "Nancy, you are my life, but they won't let us be." The black community, where she devoted her life to justice, turned away, calling their love sinful. "Nancy," voice choked, pleaded, "Barbara, let me stand by you." But the fear of losing her career, the spotlight of a pioneering black senator, made Jordan tremble. She embraced Nancy tightly, tears streaming, then let go, locking her heart away, hiding Nancy from the public's judgmental gaze. Their love became a secret bound to a stone, forever sunk in a dark ocean. After their unfulfilled love, Jordan continued to shine in politics, etching her name in history as an unyielding flame of justice. But with every step, she carried an unrelenting burden for her love with Nancy, a love crushed by society's cold judgments. 11. Zora Neale Hurston, a love wind imprisoned in literature. Zora Neale Hurston, a writer, anthropologist, and Harlem Renaissance icon, depicted Southern black culture with her sharp pen. But behind her literary brilliance, her same-sex love was buried under communal prejudice. Born in 1891 in Notasulga, Alabama, with fierce resolve, Zora Neale Hurston pursued knowledge, paving a radiant path for literature. But early on, Hurston realized her heart didn't belong to men. Yet she had to hide this secret under the shadow of societal prejudice in the spring of 1928 in a Harlem jazz club. Hurston's eyes met Lila May, a jazz singer with a captivating voice. After years of enduring prejudice and pressure to conceal, Hurston's heart ignited when Lila whispered, "Zora, you tell stories with words, but have you ever lived for yourself?" Hurston fell silent, feeling a new wind blow through her soul. They began spending long nights together, sharing poetry and secret desires. With Lila, Hurston found freedom, but she knew this love was fragile and faced society's judgmental eyes. Gradually, surrounding pressures enveloped Hurston in fear, and ultimately, she let go of Lila, hiding her love behind a sealed curtain, her heart burning with pain. In the winter of 1930, in a small Harlem attic, Hurston sat alone, her pen trembling on the page, writing a letter never sent Zora. You let Lila May's wind fade. That year, when your love for that jazz singer with a voice like your hometown fields flared, cruel words, like cold winds cutting through flesh, called your love filthy. The black community looked at you like an enemy. You wanted to scream, to keep Lila by your side. But the fear of losing your reputation choked your heart. You chose silence, hiding your love like a banned book to protect your pen, so society would still call you writer. But every night, Zora, you hear Lila's song in your dreams, and your heart bleeds for what was lost. The letter stopped, ink blurred by tears. That year's rumors not only threatened Hurston's reputation, but imprisoned her love in darkness, leaving an unhealing wound. Hurston continued writing, though poverty and illness confined her body. When she passed in 1960, her literary legacy, "In Their Eyes We're Watching God," became an eternal star in Harlem's sky. That love, like a chapter she dared not write, remained an unfinished dream, lingering in the lines she left behind, whispering of a day the world would sing to her free heart's rhythm. 10. Lena Waithe, a love script under judgmental eyes. Lena Waithe, born in 1984 in Chicago, is a writer, actor, and producer, renowned for The Chi and Master of None, openly black and lesbian. She broke Hollywood barriers, but her heart seems to carry a painful secret behind the glamour. In 1990, in Chicago's vibrant yet challenging South Side, Lena Waithe grew up, overcoming a tough childhood after her father's death. She was nurtured by her mother and grandmother, graduating from Columbia College, Chicago. She began her career in the fall of 2015 in a Los Angeles apartment. Waithe edited the script for the Thanksgiving episode of Master of None, where the character Denise reflected her life. Waithe told her partner Alana Mayo, "Alana, I'm about to tell my story to the world." Alana held her hand, saying, "Lena, I'm proud of you," when the episode was filmed. Waithe felt like shedding heavy armor, revealing her true self. After filming, she embraced Alana, tears streaming, whispering, "I did it." But that happiness was fragile as a candle's flame. In the 2010s, despite Hollywood's progress, the black community in Chicago, where Waithe called home, remained steeped in conservative, religious values. She knew rumors about the episode could spark murmurs. She's flaunting her queerness, tainting our culture. The fear of judgment from familiar faces crept into Waithe's mind, like a shadow threatening to swallow her courage. But when the episode aired, praised for its authenticity, Waithe felt a breeze of freedom, though she knew judgmental stares from her hometown community would soon follow, threatening to tear apart her dreams. Still, Waithe resolved to live true to her heart. In the winter of 2017, under the warm lights of a Los Angeles restaurant, Waithe knelt, placing a ring on Alana Mayo's finger, whispering, "Alana, you are the love of my life." Overjoyed as Alana nodded. But that joy was quickly buried when prejudiced rumors spread through Chicago's black community. Murmurs from those who once cheered. The Chi arose. She's flaunting her gay love. Shaming us, cold stares from relatives made Waithe feel her love was sinful. In their dim apartment, Alana held Waithe tightly. "Lena, we'll get through." But each judgment cut like a blade, making Waithe feel their love was caged in glass. She held Alana's hand, determined to protect their love, but the pain of communal rejection silently gnawed at her heart. In 2020, their love ended. Waithe continued creating and shining with Queen and Slim, but the dream of a love accepted by her community remained a quiet breeze, fading in the scripts she wrote. 9. Golda Rosheuvel, A Crown of Love Behind the Stage Curtain. Golda Rosheuvel, born in 1970 in Guyana, shone as Queen Charlotte in Bridgerton, wearing a proud crown as a black star, living true to her heart. She gave her love to Shireen Moolah, a talented playwright, under London's stage lights. They wrote a radiant love story, but it couldn't escape society's prejudice. In 2015, when Bridgerton propelled Golda into the spotlight, the British entertainment industry, with its subtle prejudice, pressured their same-sex love. Holding Shireen's hand in their London apartment, her heart radiant as stage lights, Golda said, "Shireen, you are my life's light. Before this love," the conservative black community declared. "She's shaming us amid bitter criticism." Shireen embraced Golda as the greatest encouragement. But judgmental stares and prejudice pained Golda, like a stage curtain falling, obscuring their love. Golda and Shireen stayed together, weathering storms. But industry pressure left wounds in their love story. Their love, like an unfinished script, persists. Golda continues to shine in her work, but the dream of a love accepted by society remains distant. 8. Angelica Ross, A Fiery Kiss in a Storm of Prejudice. Angelica Ross, born in 1980 in Wisconsin, shone in pose and lit a torch for transgender people. With a courageous heart, she loved fiercely, but her love couldn't overcome society's barriers. In 2005, Ross met Maya at an event, their shared souls quickly drawing them together. In a Chicago apartment, Ross gently gave Maya passionate kisses. Their love seemed destined for a happy ending. But when Ross came out as transgender and in love with Maya, she faced fierce opposition from her family, risking homelessness. Society called their love sinful. Prejudice and scornful stares broke Ross's heart. Her love with Maya faded in poverty. After the tragedies, Angelica Ross rose from the darkness, continuing her career. But her love with Maya remains an unforgettable low note in her life. 7. Samira Wiley, A Ray of Love. Through Clouds of Prejudice. Samira Wiley, born in 1987 in Washington, D.C., shone as Poussey in Orange is the New Black in Hollywood's spotlight. Her heart blazed again when she found true love with a same-sex partner. In 2016, when Poussey was killed on screen, the black community turned away from Wiley's love with Lauren Morelli, a white woman. Their love flickered amid prejudiced murmurs. Two women with passionate hearts supported each other through societal barriers and prejudice. Wiley gave Morelli care, embraces, hand-holding, and increasingly open kisses. In 2017, they married. Their love, like sunlight through clouds, endured despite wounds from derogatory remarks. They live together, but the dream of a love free from scrutiny, blessed by all, remains distant. 6. Pat Parker, A Queer Poem Shattered Under San Francisco's Lights. Pat Parker, born in 1944 in Houston, was a queer poet and activist with movement in black. Her same-sex love story remains a lingering regret for her admirers. In 1973, under the dim lights of a San Francisco cafe, she met Ruth, a social activist. Their shared thoughts and intense emotions brought them together. In 1975, when Parker wove her love into poetry, it enraged the conservative black community. Colleagues distanced themselves, calling her love sinful. Judgmental stares cut like blades, halting her inspiration, choked with emotion. Parker hid Ruth, her heart shattered, like a torn page under the pressure to protect her reputation. In 1989, Parker passed from cancer, her love with Ruth like an unfinished poem, fading into silence. But in her final line, Parker dreamed of a day when same-sex love would resonate freely, a quiet melody burning forever in her heart. 5. Mabel Hampton, A Dance of Love Amid Lines of Prejudice. Mabel Hampton, born in 1902 in North Carolina, was a pioneering dancer for the LGBTQ+ movement behind the stage lights. Her same-sex love story left much regret. In 1935, under dim streetlights, she professed her love to Lillian Foster, a social worker. Hampton and Foster lived openly. Facing harsh prejudice, the black community called their love sinful. She's shaming us, poverty and isolation surrounded them. Judgmental stares pained Hampton, but they gave each other the sincerest love. Hampton and Foster stayed together until Foster's death in 1978. Hampton passed in 1989, leaving a profound mark on the LGBTQ+ community. 4. Ruth Ellis, A Silent Love Wind in Detroit. Ruth Ellis, born in 1899 in Illinois, devoted her life to the LGBTQ+ community, lighting the path to freedom. In the twilight of her activism, she found a companion, her heart blazing like a flame, warming her amid a storm of prejudice. In 1937, she loved Babe Franklin, a seamstress. Ellis gave Babe secret embraces in their Detroit home, her heart warm as hometown sunlight. In the 1940s, their love faced countless judgments from the community. Financial hardship and anti-gay laws forced them to live secretly. Still, Ellis and Franklin stayed together until Franklin's death in 1975. Ellis passed in 2000. Their love, like a silent wind, and the dream of accepted love, like an untold story, echoes in Ellis's memory. 3. Alberta Hunter, A Blues Melody Under Prejudice's Pressure. Alberta Hunter, born in 1895 in Memphis, was a legendary blues singer with downhearted blues, captivating generations. Under stage lights, she found a companion, her heart singing like a note of freedom. But the wind of prejudice waited to extinguish that love's flame. In 1920, she loved Lottie Tyler, a journalist. An invisible thread bound them together. Hunter sang for Tyler in their New York apartment, with a heart full of love, but their love was soon scrutinized by the public. Increasing pressure from criticism and judgment forced Hunter to hide her love for Tyler from the public to protect her career. Despite societal challenges and prejudice, they quietly gave each other the sincerest affection. After Tyler's death in 1950, Hunter lived alone, passing in 1984, though not blessed by all. Their love story remains a powerful inspiration, encouraging others to live true to their hearts. 2. Lucille Bogan, An Unfinished Blues of Forbidden Love. Lucille Bogan, born in 1897 in Mississippi, was a pioneering blues singer with B.D. Woman's Blues, subtly praising same-sex love. But reality wasn't as poetic as her lyrics. Her lesbian love faced society's bitterness. In 1925, in the smoky haze of a Chicago speakeasy, she met Clara, their shared emotions and souls binding them. Bogan sang for Clara with a heart blazing like a blues flame, her eyes sparkling under dim lights. Their love was soon discovered by fans. Audiences turned away. Promoters canceled contracts, pushing Bogan into poverty. Their love developed cracks, in pain. She pushed Clara away, her life stage collapsing under societal pressure. In 1948, Bogan passed in poverty, her love with Clara, like an unfinished song in the era's silence, and the dream of accepted love, like a dimmed stage light, lingered quietly in Bogan's heart, but its rhythm whispered, waiting for the world to sing along. 1. Gladys Bentley, a note of freedom in Harlem's darkness. Gladys Bentley, born in 1907 in Philadelphia, was a Harlem Renaissance singer, performing drag at Clam House, like many same-sex couples. Bentley's love faced obstacles from societal prejudice. In 1931, Bentley married Ellen, a white woman, in a Harlem jazz club. Bentley held Ellen's hand, saying, "Ellen, you're the most beautiful note in my song." Their love was judged by the black community and society. She was even forced to claim she was cured of homosexuality. She continued living her desires, but judgmental stares and legal pressures pained Bentley, pushing Ellen away. In 1960, Bentley passed in loneliness. Her love with Ellen, like an unfinished song, faded into darkness. These 19 black lesbian women, from Zora Neale Hurston to Gladys Bentley, left their mark on the skies of culture, art, and activism. Hurston's pen, Holiday's voice, or Parker's poetry are immortal torches, illuminating the path for black and queer communities. But their same-sex love, like winds imprisoned in glass, from the 1920s to modern Hollywood, was torn apart by conservative communities, harsh laws, and judgmental stares, leaving unfinished dreams like incomplete songs.